Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna and today we're going to be doing just a couple of cards. We're going to try to keep them very simple and quick. So for the first one, I've got this little card here and it's just an easy fold system with some scallops and some little circles on it. And just a little fall blessings message stamped in there on an oval piece. So let's go ahead and get this one started. So for this one, you're going to need, and actually if you take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock and you cut that to 5.5 inches, you'll be able to get both of these cards out of that one piece, except for the extra little strips. So but you can get the card out of the 5.5 by 8.5. So for your first piece of 5.5 by 8.5, you want to just score this in half. So that would be 4 1/4. If you don't have a scoreboard, that's not a problem. Just go ahead and fold it in half and burnish it that way. You can just fold it in half and burnish it that way, okay? No scoreboard necessary for this card. So that's our first piece. Our second piece, this is 1.5 inches high by 8.5 inches long. You're going to score this at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and you can flip it around and again score at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay. If you don't have a scoreboard, take this 8.5 inches, fold it in half and burnish that, and then fold each of your halves to the center and burnish those. You will get the same exact results by doing that, okay? All right, so that's for people with no scoreboard. Not everybody has the same tools or has access to the same tools, so we like to be able to, if we can, give them an idea of what to do. So you're going to want this in the W shape. Let's go ahead and set that aside. We're going to decorate our 2 inside panels first before we glue down. I have 2 pieces of cardstock, and these are cut at, and I had it all written down, but where did it go? Oh, right here. The decorative cardstock is cut at, no, I didn't have it written down. Let's go ahead and measure it. I thought I wrote it down. So these are 4 inches wide, so they're just a little bit smaller, by 5 3/8 high. Okay, this one I accidentally cut short. We're going to glue it on there. It's going to get this element over top of it. It won't be seen. Well, no, it won't get that glued over it, but it's not going to be noticeable because I didn't smudge it or anything. So let's go ahead, and if you do make a mistake like that and you catch it right away, you can quickly recut your piece to get your other addition on there. And usually if you butt them right up against each other, it's not noticeable. I've done it many times. So let's go ahead and glue that on there. And we're just going to take this little piece and make sure we have the right direction going, just like that. And when I get this glued on, then I'll hold it up and you'll see. But if you made the mistake and you can see it, you can glue your second piece lower. It doesn't have to be up higher. So I'm going to show you here that it's really not noticeable. See? It just kind of disappears right back in there. As long as you don't smudge it and you get right in there and cut right from the same piece you edged off. If you continue to cut, like if you have a strip and you cut it and then you cut it, you won't be able to do it. But if you have the extra piece that you just cut from, you should be able to get that done. Now these are smudged with just some green Stampin'. Is it Stampin' Up? I think Stampin' Up ink instead of my normal, because I don't have the green I wanted in my normal Ranger inks. So we just used a different ink pad. Okay, so there's that, just like that. And then I have cut some of these that we'll add on here. So let's go ahead and get these on there. So these are cut at 1 3/8 inches high by 2 inches. These are also smudged. We're going to glue those all right onto there. Now it's easier to do it now rather than try to do it once you're inside there. Okay. And then we'll just glue this down all at once. You can do this any season you want. I just figured I would start some Christmas cards because, like I said before, I do swaps, so it's nice to include a little card. I don't sign the cards usually. I'll usually put a separate piece of something in there with a little note, and then they can reuse the card for something else and re-gift it that way. That way it plays double duty. All right. Okay, now for my little cutouts here, you could use an oval, you could use a square, you can use anything you want. I just happen to have this nice little scalloped edge, and this is from Hot Off the Press. It's Layered Accents, and I used this little die here and then the circle that comes with it. And I've stamped my white circle with Jingle, 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 Naughty or Nice Santa, Little Hot Cocoa Cup, and then Warm Wishes. So we're just going to alternate these right on those panels. Red and green, and they're going to hang over just a little bit, so I'm going to try to adjust them to be in the center. And I don't need glue all the way up. There we go. Now this looks like a nice easy project, and it is, but it does take time to get your elements ready to just glue together. I don't want you to think that it's going to... Now you can use stickers. You could use anything that's kind of flat because you want this card to be able to close. So I would stay away from anything too thick, any chip or anything like that, because that's going to probably impede your ability to close your thing. So let's go ahead and decorate our front here. I'm just going to kind of brace that. Here I've just taken another piece of cardstock. I've stamped the presents on there with the greenery, and then just stamped the Merry Christmas and the little holly. And I might just go in here and add some red to the berries there. Let me see if I've got a little red pen here. I know I've got one. I just got to put my fingers on it here. Let's see here. There we go. Let's do the glitter one. This pen is just, I don't know. I've had it for a long time. Twinkle Like Stars at Uspica or something like that. But this is just a little glitter pen. So let's go ahead and just color in these berries that are on here. Just to bring in that extra little color. Takes just a couple seconds. You could put little gems on there if you wanted to, if you didn't want to do the color. Here we go. That just brings in that extra little bit of color there. Let's go ahead and glue that on. We are almost done with this card. Can you believe it? They are so nice and handy. And like I said, you can use stickers or anything you want on there. Again, this is cut as the same size as the inside, but I will give you those measurements right now. 5 3/8 inches high by 4 1/8 wide. Okay. And that little bordy there, that was already on that paper. I just left it on there. All right. to do this inside. We're going to bring this to where we want it. You can do it at the top if you want, at the very bottom. I'm going to do it about an inch up maybe. Let's see here. What are we at? 7/8 of an inch. We can go an inch if that makes it easier for you. I'm just eyeballing it. We're going to go ahead and put glue on just the last panel here. And I want to come up to where my paper is there. Oops. And that come over just like that. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to just put glue on this last little panel here. And we're going to put that one in line, but not over. Okay, glue that down. And that way when it's, you can go all the way to the edge of paper, but then it won't be up. So now when you close it, see how that's thick? And that's why you don't want to put really thick things on there, because it probably would be hard to close. So when they open it, they've got that nice little thing here. You can put another little oval here if you would like, and so they can sign it. Here, I'll just cut a quick white one out here and show you. We'll just do this shape here. Let me just quick put this through there and you can see what I'm talking about. Maybe quick. You ever notice when you're trying to make something quick, it never happens? I've got a tote in front of me. There we go. Let me get to where I've got to be here. Too many things in my way. And this is just another one of the dies from that same set. You could just glue this right on there and do your wishes there. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just go ahead and glue that on there, and you can write your little wishes there or stamp it and write your wishes on the back side. There we go. That is it for our first card. And this is a A2 size or A4. I think A2 fits right in a regular envelope for I think they usually are 5 3/4 by 4 1/2, I think is the envelope size. For our next one, we're going to do a Z fold. And so let's go ahead and grab, I got a little ink there, it's not going to matter, put that on the back. Our next 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Bring in our scoreboard. We are going to score this at 4 1/4, so right in half, just like that. Fold it over and give it a good burnish. Now this cardstock here is 110-pound cardstock. I would recommend like the 65-pound cardstock because it's stiff enough, but by the time you add your extra papers and stuff, the 110-pound gets pretty heavy and it doesn't like, but this is what I have an excessive amount of, so this is what I'm using is 110-pound. We're going to open that back up. Now you can either score this at 2 1/8, which is half of that, or you can fold this back in to the middle like that if you don't have a scoreboard and score that, okay? So, and then this is actually going to get folded backwards, okay? So, score in half. So your 8 1/2 is long. Score at 4 1/4. Then you close this up, and you can fold this back and score it. Or if you have your scoreboard, 4 1/4. Hope I didn't say 4 1/2 or 4. 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. Okay. Close it. Burnish. Close this to your left and burnish, and you end up with this. That's why they call it a Z fold. Okay. Our next piece is 8 1/2 inches wide by 1 1/2 inches high. You're going to do the same scoring. You are going to score at 4 1/4 and at 2 1/8. Okay. And you are going to do the same thing. Fold in half and then fold back. Okay. So there's your Z. You have 2 additional pieces, a 1/2 inch by 3 1/8 inches. You're going to go ahead and score that 1/2 inch. I like to rotate so I don't have any discrepancies in my 1/2 inch, because for some reason this scoreboard always will be a tiny bit off if I go the full, if I just do another 1/2 inch at the end. Okay. For some reason, I don't know why, it just always seems to. So I don't know if I've got myself convinced of that or if it actually does. So we scored a 1/2 inch on both of those 3 1/8 inch edges. All right. Get that out of our way. So we are going to roll one of those in toward us and one back away from us. Okay. Another Z. One in and one back. Excuse me, please. On our Z fold. Now these are going to be opposite. So this is our short end on our left and our long piece on our right. When we attach this, we're going to attach our long end on the left and our short end on the right, and we're going to end up with a little box there. See that? So on this box, we are going to attach these, and we'll be able to create a little scene in there. So we're going to hold it just like this and bring our short end out. I'm going to lay it down like this. On this middle piece here, I'm going to come in and I'm going to glue these here. Okay. So I'm going to measure down. So this is facing my tummy just like it is you. And my camera is set up right. So you're seeing the same exact thing I am. I'm just going to make a little 1/4 inch line there. Okay. I'm going to come in here. I know these are 1/2 inch panels. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there. And I am going to, whoops, glue this just like that. Okay. Just like that. You see that? So my little other Z part is going to the, I don't know if you can see that. It's going to the left. Yep, there it is. You can see it. Okay. We're going to come in again, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little glue here, and I am going to, how am I going to do this? I'm going to come back here, and let's say leave about a 1/2 inch and bring this back in again, right at that line. So there'll be, this one will be close to the fold. See that? Let me get it so I can, right there. Close to the fold, about a 1/2 inch in between, and then place your next one. Okay? So they're both facing the same direction. All right? That's going to make it easier to put this inside here. All right? So we're going to decorate our inside first. Now I've got one all set to go. I'm going to set this aside because this is where my other card leaves off. All right. So here we go. Perfect. These are part of my decoration. All right. Now with these cards, you want to decorate the interior first because you're going to be laying this down and you want it. Now this piece is a little tiny bit short. I'm not worried about that because this Z fold is going to cover that up. So let me go ahead and glue that down. These pieces are 2 inches wide by 5 3/8 inches high. You need 2 of those. Okay. And like I said, this one doesn't matter if that's a little short because my Z fold is going to be covering that. So that panel doesn't matter if it's a little short, up to your 1 1/2 inch. I have another piece. Whoops, not that one. I have, what did I do wrong? Oh, I don't know. I cut an extra one, I guess. All right. So then this one goes in there. I guess I cut an extra one. That's fine. You get cutting and you get siphoning and trying to figure it out, and that can happen. I'd rather have one extra than not enough, right? So that is also 2 inches by the 5 3/8 inches high. And then our last one here is 5 3/8 high by 4 1/8 wide. Okay. So 5 3/8 was the height for all of these. You had 2 2-inch ones and 1 4 1/8 inch one. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Now, this one, we're going to go ahead and decorate these before we put it in to just make it easier. Otherwise, we're pressing on that. So these are 2 inches wide. Let me just double check just to make sure. That's what I got written down. Yes, 2 inches wide by 1 3/8 inches high. So you'll have 2 of those. All right. It just gives it a nice little edge around there. Again, 2 inches by 1 3/8. Right. And then our last piece is 4 1/8 inches wide by 1 3/8. Perfect. Just like that. Now, as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and leave those below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. All right. So we're going to make sure our little tabs are bent like that. And we're going to put, let's go ahead and put our glue on here first. Okay. Is that how we want to do it? Yeah. Let me see. I got to get these. These are going to line. I want to get these all set where they've just about got to be here. All right. So just like that. So lay your card down, lay this band down here, and make sure that your little things underneath are laying flat. Okay. And when you pick it up, they should be like this. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add glue here, and glue on those tabs. So I'm going to make a mark at 1 1/2 inches because that's the height that my thing is. So my glue won't go past there or past my little thing here. So I'm going to glue this section right here because that will take my whole little tab there. Don't go past the 1 1/2. We're going to put glue on this tab, glue on this tab, and we're going to put glue on this whole tab here. Okay. So here we go. We can lay, I'm going to hold these up like that out of the way, and I'm going to lay this down on that section there. And then I'm just going to start folding these all down. Just going to lay them all down just like that. And I'm just going to press. Okay. Let that hold a second. Now when I open that, see how those are attached? See that? Okay. Let's give that another press just to make sure. Just to make sure. Now you can put anything on those. This is just a strip, decorative strip that I had in my stash, and I believe it's got a sticker on the back. Yes, it does. Okay. So I need to cut that, the width of this, which is only about 2 1/2 of those. So let me mark that with a pencil right about in here. And I'm just going to slice that straight up. And we'll do a test fit to make sure it fits. Just like that. Yep. It's nothing fancy. I do want to leave part of that back on there. So I'm just going to trim this off here. And then I'm going to see if I can put glue back on there, because I don't want that stickiness open in there. Put that back on here, like so. Hopefully they'll stick. And then I'm going to add a little glue back here. You could do whatever you want. Some of them, you could make this into a snowbank and have deer running. You could have more snowmen. You can decorate any way you want. I just wanted to try to get this as easy as possible for tonight. Okay. And I think I'm going to kind of round this one out here a little bit, like that. There we go. All right. So we got that. Oh, that's still a little bit too long because it's kind of jamming up there. So let's cut it a little bit shorter. It's interfering. There we go. My glue should still be wet. Can't interfere with those folds. So you got to stay away from those score lines. There we go. All right. I have a video of one I did with this little, it's in one of my albums. And I have a cemetery in there. All right, I'm just going to, these are just some little fussy cut snowmen that I cut out of some cardstock. And I'm just going to add those right here. Let's do, got 2 of them. And I'll show you here in a second. See, just little tiny snowmen. And we're just going to add those. And again, these cannot, I'm going to put one a little higher than the other. Let me add a little more glue. Get you over here a little bit. A little more glue on there. There we go. And then I'm going to put one a little bit higher. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on the front and put him on the back side of that paper there. Okay. So he's on the front side here. Or was. Let's do this again. I'm going to put him on the back side, but see his little arm there? I've got to keep it away from there so it doesn't get folded in. Okay. So there's that one. He's on the front side. I'm going to reach in there, pinch him. And then this one, put some more glue on him again. Once you wiggle them around a little bit, they don't care for that too much. And then I'm going to put him back on the front side of this paper here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this, push him down a little bit, and make sure that his hand, yep, see his hand's not bent. So there we've got the 2 snowmen, and then you can see that in the back, just like that, especially if it's standing up. You can do something higher back here, but that's the basic idea of, and you can add anything you want. Again, I would stay away from chipboards or anything like that that's too thick, because you do want that to close. Okay, so that is your Z fold card. You can add your panel here for your sentiment, or again put your sentiment on the back. That is it for tonight. Again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and list them below. I hope you'd enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try, and I wish they'd get my stuff together as fast as I can put them together. I've been working at this half the day trying to figure out what I was going to put in here. But fun. I like doing it. Fun, fun. All right. Well, give it a try. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up is always appreciated. Please share and like my video. That helps promote my YouTube channel, and I do appreciate that. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I can't express my thanks enough to you. Thank you. If you're not a subscriber, please do so at this time. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down in the right-hand corner. When the bell pops up, if you hit that bell, you will be notified each time I put up a new video. And as always, friends, until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.